Saying Ninja Warrior Z here, and today I'm going to be doing stop motion tips and tricks. That's what I'm going to call this one. And today I had a request on how to make props. A couple of people have actually requested that, both on Google Plus and on that older stop motion tutorial video I did. And that video is so old and my skills have changed so much that I think it would actually be best to just restart that whole thing over. So we're gonna go over the basics and everything and throughout the series. But for now, we're just gonna do, let's start out with the props, because that's the most requested thing everyone asks me about, is how to make props. So today, we're gonna learn how to make props. And how I do that, it's pretty simple, and it's really inexpensive to make. You can use any first, okay. Here's what we're going to start with. We're going to go through the stuff you have to start with. First, I have a bad habit of thinking faster than I talk, so here we go. First, I have scissors. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need a pen. Any kind of pen will do. Just blank white paper. Construction paper. It can be any color you want. It can be any kind of paper you want. I prefer construction paper, but it's really up to you. The decision you make. And oops, you guys probably just saw my ceiling. All right. Next up, we have just a box. Any box will do. Any solid piece of cardboard will work. An action figure package. Anything solid will work, pretty much. Plastic, anything. You can use anything you want. I prefer boxes. I order a lot of stuff from Amazon, or whenever my family orders stuff from Amazon, I always just confiscate the boxes, so that's pretty cool. These work really well for buildings, because you got they're stable on the outside, and then they're also hollow on the inside, so you can actually make interiors and stuff, which is a little bit more complicated, but that's still a fun thing to do. So this is all you really need to make for the basics. All right, so now we're going to start with the first part, and the first part is going to be the outside of the building. So it's the most important thing. So we're going to take our construction paper right here. Sorry, you guys, it may be a little hard to see because I'm using a smartphone camera. That may make it a little bit better. That looks pretty good. And what you're going to want to do is line up. You're going to want to line up the paper with the size with the building. Unless you want the building to look bigger than it actually is, then you can just use the whole thing. But what I like to do is I like to line it up. There we go. And it's probably not going to be, it won't be 100% even. Sometimes the tape can get in the way, so you can peel that off. So it looks pretty lined up. And I check the front and the back. That looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do, let me see. There we go. This should probably be a better shot. And this camera thing is going to be tricky. Well, I'll just explain it. It's really easy to do. Come on, camera. There we go. What you're going to want to do is just leave the paper right there. Then you take your scissors. Then you just cut all inside the parts that are hanging off the side of the building. And that'll get it as straight as possible. Again, it won't be perfect. And I actually want this one to look a little tall, so I'm going to leave the top. Sometimes you might even have to take it off to straighten it up a little bit. And the edges look a little meh. That's okay. And that lines up pretty well. looking a little bit uneven on that side, so we'll take a little bit more off here. Sometimes this just comes down to just sheer patience. And it's still kind of got a weird curve to it, but that's okay. We'll just, it won't look as bad if I cut the top off. There we go. And that'll work. It's roughly the same size once I get it all straightened out. All right, now we're gonna take our tape. Let's see. Make sure that little piece is right underneath there. And you can also, I recommend using glue as well. I just don't have any on me at the time, but I recommend glue sticks or something like that for the paper. It may have a trickier time sticking to the cardboard, but I still recommend using an adhesive of some sort. Tape isn't as reliable. I just prefer to use it because it's easy to modify, because tape is pretty permanent. I mean, glue is pretty permanent, so you can't really do anything after that. I've actually reused buildings before, because once you strip all the paper off, you still have the box. So now we're just going to take our pieces of tape. Trying to do this with one hand. I like to place it thinly along the edges. You can pretty much use any tape you want. You can see. You want to make sure it's as secure as possible. Let's see. Oh, this will probably help. There we go. That's a little bit better. And now it's starting to look like a prop. So keep that folded down because that piece of black tape is right underneath there. Yeah, you can see my hands. I'm just going to take the tape, and I always put just one long one on the side right there. Then we'll do two at the top. Two on the side. Up at the top right there, and then we'll put that last one right there. So now the front looks, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. That's pretty even looking. Got this little business right there at the top, so it's a little bit too short, but what you can do to fix that is we can add a sign or something like that on the top, and then that'll cover that up. Alrighty then. So now we're gonna do the door. All right, and the door is a tricky bit of business. It really, that's kind of what determines the size and scale of your building, because if I make the door tiny, that thing could look like a skyscraper, depending on the figures I'm using. So for this case, I'm going to be using this prop in a video, so we're going to make it regular size, or SH figure art size, or, a 6-inch scale figure size. And I always just use the figure as a reference in size. You guys see. This is the tricky part. I'm sorry about the camera issue, guys. I only have a smartphone, so. Hopefully this can still help. Basically, what you're going to do is just draw. The door can be any shape you want it to be. In my case, I'm just going to do a normal. Or you know what? And if you want the door to be 3-dimensional, you can always just cut a piece of the sides off right here and use that. But I want it to look pretty flat, so just to save time for today, you're just gonna make a door shape. Draw a rectangle. And that looks a little bit big, but it's not a perfect rectangle either. There we go. But we're gonna get it as straight as we can get it. And then we're gonna draw. Basically, it's just like drawing a door. You know how to, you guys have any drawing experience or anything like that, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's really easy. And the trick is just to keep. See, this is what it looks like right now. But it's going to look a lot better than that once we're done. There we go. And that's pretty much, see, we got the outlines of the door. That's where the outline is going to be, because that's where it's going to be. Imagine that being the glass and that being the frame. So then you got the figure right there. So yeah, that's properly scaled. So now what we're going to do, we're going to have to color these in. So I'm just going to fast forward that part. And here we are at the less than halfway mark. This is so you can get a good idea of what we're doing here. We're just going to color in. See, we're just coloring in the frame along the door. Just that little hollow part right there. And then eventually it's going to look a lot more straight and a lot more rectangular. Alrighty then. And it took me about 10 minutes. So always remember with stop motion, anything stop motion related, patience is a virtue. It takes a lot of patience, and yeah. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to. There we go. Now the one thing else we'll need is a door handle. I'll just show you all how I do that. Just always remember, guys, if it takes a little bit long, don't give up. Just keep on pushing forward, and it always pays off. I know a lot of you guys know that. That's just for some cool tips I'm trying to give out. There we go. So now that actually looks pretty good. So now we're going to cut the door out. I'm not sure how well you can see. I need to get that damn camera tripod. Can you see that? Let me see. Yeah, that looks decent. It'll work. And all we're just going to do is just cut it out like we do anything else. And then try and cut it out as evenly as we can. Make the door look a little bit better. And then maybe we'll color in some of the edges. And I know it's kind of uneven, but I'm not the best when it comes to getting things symmetrical. There we go. But for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty damn good. So now we're just gonna. I always like to color with a piece of paper under me too, just in case. So you don't get any ink on the floor or anything. Or, color on something you don't mind getting ruined. So then if you have to go off the edges, you can. Here we go. We're just gonna finish this. Boom. Yeah, I like that. That actually looks pretty good. So this building is going to be kind of small. So think of it as like it's going to be we'll make it a toy store. Just think of it as like one of those really small, cool stores that has a bunch of really cool stuff in it. It's really overpriced. That's going to be this store. And then if you want, you could turn it sideways. You need a smaller door, but there's always that option. We're going to put the door right there. And this place is a little bit too small for a window, so I think we'll just do one window for the front. And that's pretty easy. We're just going to use a white piece of paper here. Oh, and if anyone's wondering what I'm working on, this right here, these are just backdrops you can get from your hobby or art store. They're really cheap. They're only about $3 a piece. And same thing with this flooring. Well, it's not even flooring. It's like a mat or a stage. But you can find all this stuff at your local hobby store. It's real cheap, and it's perfect for stuff like this. This is what I use for the backgrounds and stuff. And you just really can't go wrong with it. So for the door, we're going to have our door next to our white piece of paper. And we're going to draw out a window. This is a little bit tricky because I'm holding the phone with one hand, trying to draw the window with the other. And that actually came out pretty good. Now we're going to add the outline. Then I just always like these 4-pane windows. They're real easy to draw. And now I'm going to color it in. And voila. Now that's our window. And it looks pretty good all colored in. It's a little bit thicker around there than I wanted it to be, but it'll work for today's video. So now we're just going to do the same thing that we did with the door. I'm going to get this cut out. And always, whenever I'm coloring in the edges, I always give some extra room, I call it accident room, just in case you end up clipping some of the window off. I'll make the outlines on the very outside of the thing a little bit extra thick. Just in case. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn. Get some ink smudge right there. Well, that just gives it character. We'll just say it has dirty windows. All right. So that's our window. Usually for windows and stuff, I prefer to use some type of like a glue stick. But today I'm just gonna use some tape because I already got that near me. What also works too is you can cut your. It's a little bit tricky, but you can actually cut your tape and make it the lines a little bit thinner. The trick is just not to get it stuck to the blade. Scissors. We'll just use 2 thin lines of tape. There we go. And I like that. That looks good. There we go. Then we're gonna see our door in front of a building. So now I'm gonna take the door down. There we go. I just skipped that part. And another thing that I always recommend doing is letting the ink dry first before you even start doing stuff. So what I do is I'll draw the door and let that dry, and then draw the window. And while I'm drawing the window, the door will be drying. Sometimes it may take a little bit longer, but it's worth it because you don't risk accidents happening. And let's see, the window's a little bit crooked, but it'll work for now. We'll just say that gives the store character. And what better place for a crooked window? Oh, I know what it is. I was saying it could be a toy shop, but I got a funny idea. I'm drawing the sign. There we go. There we go. We're gonna make this we'll make this the beer place. We'll say that a drunk guy is who hung the sign. So now I'm gonna get this cut out. There we go. And in this case, I kind of want it. There we go. Oops. Tape stuck. There we go. In this case, I kind of want to rise above the building, so we'll just put it right up there, up top. Right there it is, beer. And that's why the window's crooked. Sometimes it's really fun to just give your places a little bit of character that makes them unique. Even an accident can turn into something fun. Maybe, do I need to add another piece of tape? Yeah, that looks a little weird up there. So, let me fix that. There we go. Wet ink everywhere. That won't happen if you let the sign sit and stuff like that. All that smudging, that won't happen. You just have to let the stuff dry. But I just wanted to finish this building so you guys could see the whole process. And then from here, you can just do whatever you want. You can add, you can use your pen to draw bricks, or you can use crayons to color it in the bricks and add texture and everything else, man. You can do anything. Yeah, sky's the limit. This is just a basic template of how I make the props, and this would be a good starting point, and then you'll develop your own style and different tricks of the trade, and you'll probably be giving me tips. I got some ink on my hand, so I'll be careful. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks really good. So we're going to use that as the background building in the next tutorial, the animation. Yeah, that looks cool. Well, thanks for tuning in for all this, guys, and I'm probably going to end the video around here. And if, God damn it, what was I going to say? I'm terrible at ending videos, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't like to end them. I like them to keep going. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. And if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe and share the video. And you got, for long-time subscribers, thanks for all your support, guys. And thanks for watching this video. And I really hope this helps you out. And no credit necessary or anything like that. But if you mention my name, I won't fight you over it in your video. I mean, I'm just saying, you don't have to. I'm just kidding, y'all. I really don't care either way. Just go ahead. I just really hope this makes your video, this helps you out, and that's what's most important. I want to see if, yeah. So let me know if you use this idea. Please let me know in the video comments, because I want to check it out, and I want to see your video and comment on it and like it and do all that cool stuff. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'm going to end it here. So Saiyan Ninja Warrior Z out, and I'll see you next time. Next, we're going to be doing animations. Peace.